Wow, the Bushcraft Show, it's not very far away now, and us being preppers, always thinking ahead, trying to get things organised before it could be too late. So, if any of you guys saw the live stream that I done last Friday, about now's the time to be a prepper, based on some of the comments and the emails that I've received off the back of that live stream, there was a few guys who wanted to know, who is interested on what I'm taking to the Bushcraft Show and why. Don't forget, new people are joining this community daily. They really are, okay? My subscriber count is just going up and up and up. New people are coming to the realization that yes, indeed, prepping is a seriously good thing to do, especially in times like this. Make no bones about it, we are living in crazy times. If you don't understand what that means, you might as well stop watching the video. But yes, we're living in mad times and we do need to be prepared for as many things as we possibly can. So, the Bushcraft Show, if you don't know anything about it, I'm going to put a link to a video which I made below this one. And if you watch that, I'm also going to put a discount code as well. So you click onto that, you look at the code and you're going to save 15% straight away. Okay, so absolutely, you've subscribed to this channel, you're in the right place, and every now and again you are going to get discounts. It's just helping people, that's what I do. So let's get stuck into the video then. What am I taking to the Bushcraft Show? People want to know? Here it is. A trailer and a cover. Absolutely, there's no way I will be able to fit all of the things in my vehicle. There's not going to be enough room. So luckily, I have a trailer, thanks to you guys who donated a long time ago, enabled me to get a good trailer, not a rubbish one, something that's going to be up to the task, because we are out in the mountains for real, and the roads, tracks, etc., it needs to be well made. So yes, absolutely a trailer, and I had to buy myself a really thick, heavy duty PVC, UV resistant tarpaulin, the right size. I managed to get some thick 10mm shot cord and just literally put that over the top. So whatever I'm transporting, if it's raining, it really helps, okay? Don't be fooled into getting one of these cheap little £10 tarps, putting it over there. You do some considerable distance, that wind speed, anything remotely sharp inside will shred it, okay? And it's going to get everything wet, defeating the whole object. Trailer and cover. Tent and a ground sheet. Now I've got my 9x9, you probably can't see it over there somewhere, but yes, the old faithful 9x9 tent. I originally set it up here for a studio to do videos in, but to be honest, it's so dark, trying to get lighting in there is very difficult. So it just sits there most of the time. I did make it quite secure, i.e. all of the poles inside, I sniper taped it to make it really rugged. So yes, it might be an absolute pain to cut all of those and take it all apart. But I do have a plan B. I'm in contact as we speak with the Prepper Shop UK, and they are just hitting the season with loads of tents. So waiting to see if there could be a possibility of getting a tent from those guys to show you guys as well. So that could be a possibility. So yes, I'm taking a tent and a ground sheet. My situation is there's going to be me, my partner and my son, okay? If you're on your own, this could be a different thing. This is just what I'm doing. Beds. Okay, so I don't really like the idea of having a little foam mat on the floor and a sleeping bag. It's a very uncomfortable way to sleep. We've done it back in the military, but we're a bit older, we're civilians now, and we do appreciate some more comfort. So yes, I'm using the the military cot beds and the BCB cot beds. They're about a foot or so off of the ground. They fold up nice and great. They store in the trailer or in the vehicle, and on top of that, there'll be self-inflating mats, there'll be sleeping bags, or I might even bring a duvet, I don't know. But these are the things that I'm looking at the moment, okay? Because let me tell you this, if you don't start writing lists out now, and you leave it to 2 or 3 days before the Bushcraft Show, you check through your kit, something might have ripped, something might have been damaged, and you're not gonna have time to order it online for a replacement. And it could mean that your trip's cancelled altogether, or it's going to cost you a lot of money rushing around trying to find a decent outdoor shop with what you need. And it's stress that you don't need. So as preppers, like I say, we always think ahead. So sleeping bags, absolutely. The sleeping bags which I love to recommend is the British Military Arctic sleeping bag. The one I got was made in 1999. There's 3 or 4 different variants from different years, but after looking at about 4 of them, I believe that the 1999 version is the best. It's the thickest, it's the heaviest, and it keeps you the warmest, okay? After all, comfort is what it's all about. Another thing which a lot of people don't understand, especially if they're new, the Bushcraft Show, we're not in summertime yet, it's the end of spring. It's going to be quite nice temperature-wise, but in the night time, it can get very cold. And if you're not prepared for that, your 2, 3 or 4 night stay might be unbearable. So make sure you can keep warm in the evening, okay? So sleeping bags, absolutely. Toiletries, I've got one of those little roll-up sort of pack with a mirror, zips, pockets and pouches which clips together. You can unclip it, you can hang it up in a shower or something, and you've got all of your bits and pieces. Toothbrush, toothpaste, I've got a little salt deodorant stick, shower gel, all of that stuff. It can sit in there. Once it's done, roll it all up in a tiny pack, square it away, okay? So toiletries, absolutely. Also toilet rolls, okay? Don't ever make that mistake thinking that you're going to go somewhere and everything will be provided. It's not always the case. The bottom line is you don't know. So try and be self-sufficient. Take enough toilet roll for how much you're going to need, depending on you and your family situation, okay? Always pack one more just in case. One gets wet or the dog chases it or something and it shreds it. Just make sure that you've got enough, okay? Towels. Absolutely. I mean, you don't really want to be spending the 3 or 4 days at the Bushcraft Show and not have a shower. You can use wet wipes and stuff, but it's entirely up to you. Personally, I'm going to be using the shower facilities there, and I'm going to be taking my own towels, okay? Clothes as well. Like I said, it is cold at night time, okay? There's going to be fire pits dotted around, but I don't think there's going to be man fires. You know, the great big 18-foot long by 7-foot big fires. I don't think that sort of thing is going to exist. I could be wrong, I don't know. There's probably going to be fire pits. Now, you do have to sit really close to them fire pits. You know, you're outdoors, it's windy, you're not going to feel all of that warmth, okay? So wear warm clothes. It absolutely makes sense. And a woolly hat for the evening. You will thank me for it, okay? You start walking around with jeans, t-shirt and trainers, lovely hot food summer's day. You've had a few drinks and you forgot to pack like a woolly jumper or a woolly hat, and come like 9, 10, 11 o'clock it starts to get cold, gets cold. How are you going to warm up? Make sure you've got some warm clothes, okay? That's a good tip. Power banks and solar panels. Now I've got quite a good selection of power banks, etc. So I'm going to pick 1 or 2 and bring them along, and I'm going to be using that to charge up my phone. I'm going to try my best to do a live stream there. I've been told there's going to be a media suite, okay, so Wi-Fi, all of that sort of thing. But like I said, don't rely on anyone else. I'm going to be taking my own portable Wi-Fi gadget. So you put a SIM card in there with data and all the rest of it, and it just basically converts the 4G network into Wi-Fi. And if the signal's good enough and you can upload, then yep, absolutely, I'll be doing a live stream. So that's going to mean taking my laptop, my phone, lighting, microphones, all of that stuff, and it all needs to be charged. So yes, power banks. Take whatever you think you're going to need for your trip. Everyone's different, okay? So don't forget power and the leads. Do you know, a good friend of mine brought a power bank when we went out on the trip, and he forgot his lead. He couldn't charge his phone up. After an hour after being on location, his phone was dead flat. He had no way of contacting his partner if something went wrong. Make sure that you've got your leads with your power banks to all of the things that you're going to use them for, okay? Food, absolutely. Unless you want to rely on someone else to buy burgers all the time or whatever it is, take your own food. Snacks are important. It does seem to be that the foods which I do are real quick convenience food. Noodles are fantastic, okay? You empty them into a pot, put some water in there, boil it up, and it's food, really quick, really easy, okay? If you want to stand there and, you know, marinate steaks and get all the spices out and get coals and put a steak on there, it's absolutely fine. But now and again, especially in my own situation where I'm going to be very busy talking to lots of people over that weekend, I'm not going to have time just to sit there for a couple of hours and cook a few steaks. Just won't have time. So convenience foods, healthy, non-healthy, it's entirely up to you. I recommend convenient snacks, lots of them. You know, peanuts, crisps, chocolate bars, sweets, whatever floats your boat, they are really going to come in handy, okay? Just to keep your energy levels topped up. And water, always, 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 please make sure that you hydrate. It's a trap that lots of us fall into, okay? You can get up in the morning out of your little tent, you can go and do your business, you can have a shower, you can have a nice breakfast, etc., have a cup of tea, and you literally leave that site for the majority of the whole day, and maybe even into the evening, okay? How many times are you drinking? And I don't mean alcohol, that's going to dehydrate you, okay? Water, squash, anything like that, okay? Make sure that you drink a lot, because you start getting dehydrated, you get headaches, it's not nice. So always make sure that you drink a lot. A cool box, in my instance, I've only got a cool bag, an insulated one, and what I do is I'll get them freezer blocks, I'll freeze them up, and literally, when the vehicle's warming up for 10 minutes before we leave for the Bushcraft Show, them ice blocks come right out, and at the last second, go into that, food goes in there, milk, etc., and off we jolly well trot, okay? So yeah, keep your stuff cool. Lots of people have got these USB or generator things, but I haven't been able to afford one of those yet, but one day I'm hopefully going to get one of those cool box things. Gas and gas cookers. Now, we always use a bog standard twin burner camping gas chef, I think it's called, excuse me. And all that requires is a gas bottle, the right pipe or hose, the right regulator. Make sure you set it all up first before you go, because there's nothing worse than carting it all the way down there. It won't light, something's happened, oh God, there's a split. Who's going to be selling rubber gas bottle hoses at the Bushcraft Show? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Always check these things first, okay? That's why I'm doing this video way in advance. It gives people time to think, do you know what? I haven't used that gas bottle stove for 3 years. You don't know. Go and check it, okay? What else have we got? Cooking utensils. Don't forget these. Nice fork spoons, spatulas, wooden spoons for your beans or whatever it is. Don't forget all of that stuff, okay? Plates, pots and pans. Try not to take China stuff. I know some of you van lifers do, but you know, just bearing in mind that you're outside, there's going to be dogs running around, kids playing. It only takes an accident for something to drop off of a table and smash onto something, and you've buggered it. So metal plates or plastic plates, enamelled, whatever you want to do. Very important. Cups as well. Now, this is another thing for you new guys who aren't used to this sort of thing. So you wake up in the morning, you cook yourself or make yourself a nice hot cup of tea or cup of coffee, and you sit outside, and it's lovely. You're having a little sip now and again. Oh, a little message on my phone, you start reading it. Within 20 seconds, your coffee's stone cold, okay? Trust me, think about it. You're having your tea and coffee indoors in a room that's between 18 and 22 C. You go outside with the wind chill, it could be 12. Trust me, your hot cup of drink will get cold very quick. Thermal mugs are very good, or a flask, okay? As long as it's insulated, even if you put bubble wrap around a normal cup, it will do. It will keep your drink warmer, giving you time to drink it before it goes cold and it's not so good. What else? Washing up liquid, of course. If you're going to be washing up your own stuff, obviously, some people forget it. They get it, oh my God, look at that. All we've got is hot water, and we've got a frying pan covered in grease. Well, good job shifting that grease with just a handful of grass on the floor, okay? You are going to need some fairy liquid. And if you are cooking with colder water, to make sure that you kill off any bugs, a little tip, a couple of drops of bleach in that water. It will kill off any infection, bacteria, so you don't want to pick up a tummy bug going to somewhere like this. What else is there? Tea towels. Always take tea towels so you can dry stuff off, etc. Paracord, or any sort of cord that you like, whether it's rope, string, bungees, anything which is cord related. Make sure you got some. The reason why is because what I like to do is from the corner of a tent to my vehicle, string up a line, do a trucker's hitch, like the survival knot video which I've done, check on my channel. You can make it really strong, really tight so it doesn't sag. open your sleeping bag up, turn it inside out and hang it over there to air throughout the day. If you've got not many clothes and they get a bit smelly, you can wash them, hang them up to dry, etc. It just makes perfect sense, all right? So yes, absolutely do something like that or consider something like that. Sun cream, if you feel you need to, and obviously sunglasses and a hat, especially for the kiddies, okay? If they're running around all day and you're caught up chatting with friends, etc., that you've just met or whatever it is, it's very easy to go and see your kid an hour or so later. Oh my God, look at him, he's bright red, he's burnt. Guess what? Your kid's going to have a nightmare of a show because he's got sunburn. Make sure SOPs, especially with kids, make sure they're protected from the sun if we do have a lot of sun, that is. A notebook and pen, important. New contacts. Lots of people are going to be, well, I don't want to use the term networking, but you understand what I mean. You're bumping, oh, look, I remember you, I've seen you on Instagram, I've done that video on so-and-so on YouTube. Oh yeah, I know who you are. And you get on great, as friends, and over that 2 or 3 day period, you know, you're spending more time together. You think, actually, now I've actually met this person, I've been using my senses, like I've always been saying on my videos, when you meet someone online, meet them in public, like we are at the Bushcraft Show. After your time with said person over that weekend, you have to decide whether you trust that person to give them your name and address, etc. Or something like that. So a notebook and pen, really, really cool. Give us your email address. Rather than use your phone, whether it's really sunny, you can't even see the screen, it's a nightmare, okay? Get your notepad out, yep, double check that that's right, yep, cool, done. You've got that person's contact details in a notepad. If you want to, use a write in the rain pad, which lots of us have. So if it does spit or something, it's not going to turn mushy and the ink's going to run. What else have we got? Lights, torches and lamps. Absolutely. When it starts getting dark and you're right on the other side of the site, around a friend's campfire, oh, look at that, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, I better go back to sleep. It's a big day tomorrow because I want to do this course or whatever it is. You're tripping over guidelines, etc. You can't really see because you've failed to take with you and plan ahead a torch, okay? Anytime, I do it as a rule, anytime after, say, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I always make sure that I've got a head torch where it works with the batteries in my pocket. Because if I am carried away chatting and it does happen and it's dark all of a sudden, you've got to find your way back to your tent. It's going to make things a lot easier. Lights inside the tent. Tents are very dark inside, obviously, especially at night time. It's pitch black. So having some sort of lamp in there, whether you can charge it up via USB, solar panels, power banks, paraffin lamps, whatever it is, or even candles, okay? Make sure that you can see in the dark. Very, very important, actually. Stuff for the kids. Toys, their bike, balls, games, that sort of thing, because it might take a short amount of time for you as a family to go around the site and go, actually, there's lots of stuff to do for the kids. It's already done axe throwing or whatever it is. He's done this, and the first morning you've done it all. Then you've got 2.5 days or whatever with your kids, and they could be bored, especially if we haven't found any other kids to play with, sorry. So yeah, make sure that you've got stuff to amuse them and entertain them, okay? So yeah, don't forget about the kids, all right? What else is there? A day sack, always take a day sack on the Bushcraft Show, because especially if you do stuff on social media like myself, lots of people will approach you and want to give you gifts and things like that. And the last thing you want to do is you're miles or right on the other side of the site from your tent and someone gives you, there you go, here's a car battery as a gift. You've got to carry it everywhere. At least if you've got something, it's not going to be a car battery, but you never know. At least you've got something where you can put it in. Your bottles of water, like I say, you always need water. Unless you want to wear a belt of a great big litre of water hanging off it, just throw it in your day sack, okay? Bit of food, bit of scoff, some snacks in there, whatever it is. A little poncho if it starts to rain and you're right on the other side of the site, okay? Day sack, very important. If you don't know what a day sack is, this is a very small rucksack, enough to last you for a day. Doesn't have to be a great big Bergen, all right? What else is there? Personally, because I'm doing demonstrations, I'm taking all of the demonstration items, which I'm going to be showing and talking about. I'm taking a great big bench. I've approached the company to make me a banner to go under that bench to make it a little bit more official rather than some bloke on YouTube with a table, okay? trying to make it a bit more professional. It's cost me a lot of money to get this banner. So hopefully that's going to be in the post soon. Fire pit and some wood. If you do plan on having a fire, do what you can to make sure your fire's not actually touching the floor. I don't know what the rules and regs are at the Bushcraft Show, but I always err caution, use a fire pit. A good thing to do is if you've got like a paving slab, that's really good. Okay, so you find a level spot, you put your paving slab there, then you put your fire pit on there. In my instance, it's like a little round ring with 3 or 4 legs coming from it, going to a washing machine drum, so it's nice and stable. And that will sit on that paving slab, probably about a foot off of the floor. We can have a nice little fire in there and have a chat, etc. And it doesn't do any damage to the floor whatsoever. But worst, when you leave, you pick up the square floor tile there, and it just leaves a yellow bit of grass. In about 3 days, it's all green. It's all done. No one will ever know you're there. It's entirely up to you, but all I'm doing is telling you what I'm taking and what I'm planning to do. And no doubt, booze and cigars, absolutely. Now, I know lots of people say, what's your address? I want to send you something. I'm not one on giving my address to people who I don't know. Okay, the world's a scary place. I don't like to do things like that. I haven't got a PO box, I can't afford one, so I don't receive any gifts. So I know some of you guys have said, blah, 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 I'm coming to the Bushcraft Show, I want to give you a cigar. Yes, I do like cigars, and yes, I do like single malt whiskey and stuff like that. But like I'm saying, I can't have anything sent to my house for obvious reasons. So some people do that. I'm taking a few things to give to other people as well as gifts, because it's all about give and take. And it's awesome. And I've got a few little tricks up my sleeve for a few people, okay? So it's great. If you are going to the Bushcraft Show, I can't wait. I really can't wait. I wish it was tomorrow, but we have to wait until the end of the month. If anyone wants any details about the Bushcraft Show, the link is below this video. Watch that, and there's a discount code link. Like I said, you're gonna save 15% straight off, okay? So if there's 4 of you going, guess what? 60% of your total bill is being wiped off. Just like that, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So that was it for you guys who are contacting me on what I'm taking to the Bushcraft Show. It's going to be quite a similar thing to the prepper meet, okay, pretty much. It's just the stuff that I do and we do as a family, and it's more especially for you guys who have never done this sort of thing before. And like I say on the courses that I do, there's no such thing as a stupid question, right? Don't be afraid to ask anything. And even if you have been doing this for a while, and there's a few things which I've mentioned which you've never considered, I hope it helps. Anyway, you guys take care, thanks for watching, and stay funky.